Well, hello and welcome. Welcome back. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to YouTube and welcome to my channel, Odeo. We're back here today with another review and I've got some more blue Kool-Aid. And we're trying to get a little bit better. So let's get ready for another Odeo review. Oh, yeah, that's right. Intro. Yeah, I learned how to make that. I made that myself. I know it looks super professional with a little jingle in there, but yeah, that was something I did myself. So I'm getting better. We're really improving here at Odeo. I told you guys stick with me, and we're gonna try to get better. I may even be able to do a clip perhaps one time. If you're seeing this, it actually worked. I got it. It's now happening. We are now clipping it up. Ha ha. Oh, well, I don't know. It may work. We may get clips going. So we'll see about that. But for today, we're going to start off with a review of the next episode of X-Men 97. The X-Men are back from 1997, and we're back again for the episode 3 review. Really like the first 2 episodes. It left off with another Jean kind of showing up. And this episode picks up right where that one leaves off. So, pretty interesting. It turns out that one of them is a clone. Beast has done a bunch of tests. Jean looked into the new girl's mind and said, oh, it's like a broken mind. Like, it's actually only got like a day. All the memories are condensed. So anyway, long story short, it turns out that the one on the couch that just showed up is actually the real Jean. And the clone is the one that actually had the kid with Scott and everything. So everyone's pretty moved by that. It's a big thing, and so like they're not sure if they can trust her or not. She's like, "But I've been with you. I've bled with you. You know that, right, Scott?" And she kind of looks right at Cyclops, but he's like, not sure. You know what I mean? They're not against her or anything. Like they know that obviously she is the mother of Nathan, their child, right? So. But anyway, yeah, she gets mad and like kind of storms off to the room. No one really knows what to do. They could ask Magneto, but he seems to be gone, and so is Rogue. I think they're gone hooking up. Like they really imply that. Morph, I like Morph. He's back, cracking jokes. He's really funny. In the earlier seasons from the 90s, he kind of gets killed early on, but you find out he's not killed. He's actually taken by Sinister, and he's like mind controlled and basically loses his will and stuff. But anyway, he's back now, cracking jokes, and like he makes a joke about raising hands, and he turns into someone with 6 hands and raises all the hands. He's pretty funny. I like having him around, and Bishop, it's just great. So well, it turns out that. Jean, the clone one, that is the mother, goes back to her room and the radio turns up and it is Sinister. If you haven't seen him before, he's in the older episodes. He's mostly their enemy, but there is like a weird like technovirus that attacks them one time and they are forced to kind of team up with him. He looks like an evil kind of vampire, scary type guy. He looks evil. Just if you saw him, you'd be like, okay, this is the evil character. And he is, right? And he's basically, they say in the episode that he steals a bunch of mutant powers since the 80s, trying to extend his own life and stuff. Anyway, he actually starts talking to her and he tells her that, he had actually created her. He baked her, as he said. And she's like, get away of her. You'll have nothing to do with her life. You took us and captured us and you took our material too. And then she realizes, oh, it's not you he wants. It's your child. It's their son. So he actually made a clone of Jean just so they could get her and Scott to have a kid. And then he could get control of that kid. And she tries to resist and is like, no. And he's like, oh, it doesn't matter. So this little glowing red dot starts to glow. It looks like a crystal in her head. And he has the same kind of thing in his forehead. So anyway, she becomes under his control, has like a big fit, throws things around. And basically has like a little Sailor Moon transformation. Actually, it's pretty cool looking. And she I thought she was going to become Madeline right away, but she's a Goblin Queen, is what she calls herself after. And anyway, she's all dressed in black in a different outfit. And then it starts cutting back to the other mutants. Jubilee and Roberto are watching a movie. And all of a sudden, someone in the movie like turns and looks and says something about the mutants. And Roberto's like, you see that, right? Jubilee, like that happened, right? And she's like, what? And anyway, it jumps out of the screen at them, and Jubilee has to like kill it, and it like turns into Roberto's mom. It's like, you're not my son. He's like, what is happening? And she has to destroy it, and then everyone's having a nightmare. Basically, it's just it's all across the place. And then Beast goes up in an elevator, comes out on the floor as a giant monster. He's like, oh my god! And then they're like, what is going on? And they're like, is it Jean? What's happening? Morph just out of nowhere is like, can't you see? We're in hell. And then they fall down and like they are in hell. And there's like monsters coming all over the place. Beast calls one of them a Jabberwock, but they don't know the reference, right? Like no one reads anymore. But they're trying to fight them all off. And then Bishop and Cyclops are right next to each other. And Bishop just looks at him like, hit me. And I knew he was going to do. And like Cyclops just like charges him up, starts firing his beam right into Bishop, who absorbs it. And then he turns around and just like, both of his arms are now like weapon. He just starts shooting everything, and he takes care of like so many of it. It's awesome. Bishop's great. Like, and he's just pumping up all the power. They're destroying all these flying hell demons that are coming at them and things. Like, it's awesome to see. But like more keep coming, and they're obviously just going to get overrun eventually. But then Jean Grey, the one who was, in on their couch, who's in the hospital bed, she all of a sudden comes in wearing the hospital gown, and she just starts like holding her head, and she pushes back because all of a sudden out of hell there's like hell sentinels with like horns and stuff, and they're like, what are we gonna do? But she sends them all away and basically lifts them back up out of hell. And then the other Jean Grey, the evil one, comes out and says, say my name. And Scott's looking at her like, what? And she has the baby behind her in like a green bubble. She's like, I am now the Goblin Queen. I am past Jean. And then she like leaves. And they're all pretty mad because like obviously she takes the kid and she kind of wrecked the place. And then out of nowhere, it's great. Magneto and Rogue just come back like, what's going on? They're like, who wrecked this place? Right? It's like, we've been banging all day. I don't know what you guys been doing, right? So that's pretty funny. And they're all like, well, where would they go? How are we going to find them? Like, and then when Beast realizes that Sinister has made her, but they don't know where he is. And he's also working on trying to get Bishop's bracelet fixed so he can go back to the future. Not back to that future, not like Marty McFly style, but like back to the actual future where he's from. And like, I don't want him to go though. I like that character, so I hope he stays. But anyway, as they go on, they realize that Morph is going to know where Sinister is because he actually was there before and he doesn't like Sinister. He doesn't want him to have anybody. So he says, okay, I'll lead you guys there. He knows where they're going. So him and like Bishop and Magneto and Cyclops all go, and the rest of them kind of stay there. But when they get in there, of course, the Goblin Queen, Evil Jean Grey, is there, and they have to kind of deal with her. It's pretty cool, though. Magneto tries to. He comes in with his powers, like he's casting, like, magnetic pulses. He's lifting up all these metal shards trying to get her, but she's just, like, way too powerful and, like, just basically eventually overtakes him. And because he can only control metal, but she can control everything. She's super powered. It's awesome. And everyone basically starts falling down and losing. Cyclops shoots her, and, like, she starts to bleed. Then he feels bad, like, oh, sorry. And then she goes down, and then she has control of all their minds. And then the real Jean, who's back in the hospital, she's kind of freaking out, doesn't know how to use her powers. She reads Wolverine's mind, realizes how much he cares for her, and then she kind of wakes up and realizes, oh, Scott and them are in trouble. So she sends her spirit there to fight the Goblin Queen. And she brings her into the spirit realm. They have like kind of a pretty cool fight in there. They're like, but obviously the Jean who's actually there in spirit is stronger, and she can't defeat her, but because they're the same pretty much. But she like starts showing her memories, good memories, like when they met Professor Xavier. He's back for a moment. It's pretty cool. And then, but basically, it's the birth of Nathan, their son. When she remembers that, she's like, oh my, yeah, this is real. This is really important. So then, like the little crystal on her head dissolves. And then she looks down at Cyclops and says, like, let's go save our son. And then you get into, like, the final acts. And I like it in here. They come in. Cyclops just blasts because what Sinister did, as soon as he had gotten their son, he took and he walked over. It looked like a cauldron. It was like boiling with green liquid. He's like, well, you won't know how important you are to me. And he like puts them in. I'm like, whoa, he's cooking them. He's cooking them. But no, it's like some sort of a like container thing. He goes in, looks like a stasis tank or something. It's all filled with this green liquid, right? Looks like the kid can breathe and stuff. But anyway, Cyclops blasts that first thing and it opens up. Then he blasts Sinister and Sinister's chest opens up. And he's like, impossible. And then Evil Jean Grey, who's like, she slams Sinister into the wall. They get their son out, and then he's like, you've doomed him. And they're like, what are you talking about? And then he gives like a weird sort of rhyme, and then they look down. The rhyme doesn't do this, but their son starts to like kind of have a green infection. It's from the green liquid, right? And they're like, what have you done? And look back, he's gone. He's pretty good at that. That's why I say he's kind of like a vampire. Maybe he turned into a bat and flew out. I don't know. But he's he's gone, so they don't know what to do, and they kind of basically just go back to their base, right? Back to the mansion. And when they get back to the mansion, they were like, Beast looks at it and says, oh, the baby has a technovirus. It's too advanced now. It would take months, maybe even years to fix it. And they're all upset, and they realize, like, yes, now, but if Bishop goes back to the future, he could, he could help, right? Or someone there could help. And Bishop kind of implies, like, yeah, I know someone smart there who could help and make something, maybe. So then Beast, finishes fixing the bracelets, and Cyclops doesn't want to do it. He's like, no, I don't want my son to be abandoned. It's like, yeah, but it's weird, though, because Beast and Sinister seem to say this technovirus could make him invincible. I don't really know, but I guess they don't really say that another option is that he's going to die. But Sinister does say he's doomed. So anyway, they send the son off with with Bishop to the future. He opens up a big portal and goes on through. I mean, it sucks that their kid's leaving. I'm sadder that Bishop's going. Oh my goodness, he's like my favorite. I don't want him to go. What are you going to do? And then they kind of basically, Jean Grey, the one that just came back, kind of goes back to the room where Cyclops is, and they're sort of both on the other side of like this wrecked bed. And and before that, evil Jean Grey she got like a sack over her shoulder. She starts going down the road like Hulk, like she's gonna hitchhike. And the good Jean Grey, or new Jean Grey, comes out and talks to her, and she just says, "I'm gonna start my own life." And then she's gonna be Madeline. I thought she was gonna be Madeline. I remember something about that from like the comics a long time ago. So anyway, she's gone off on her way. Maybe we'll see her again. And then they go back in. And like their son is gone, so I don't know. They keep saying they don't know how long it's been switched, but I really thought Beast said at the beginning that he carbon dated them, and that's how he knew which one was which. But he doesn't say their age. Like, I wonder if he could say that, oh, this one is however many years. But I don't know. They don't really go into it. And then out of nowhere, they're at a bar, and you see Storm, and she's watching TV. And then someone says, I wish someone could make it rain. And she looks over, and it's Forge. And he's like, I want to help you out. And she looks like, I'm happy with that. I want her to get her powers back. She's awesome. And then it kind of just ends. So no big cliffhanger this time, but pretty cool. Really like the episode. Really liking the show. It feels just like the 90s show. A lot of the same voice actors are back. I like that we get more Morph. He's cracking jokes and stuff. He wasn't in it a lot last time. I love Bishop. Hopefully he comes back. But overall, it's been a really good show. I would recommend watching it. It's on Disney Plus, but it's really good. If you like the old 90s show, this feels like a real continuation. And so anyways, recommend. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time. So thanks for your time, everyone. We really appreciate that here, and stay out of trouble. Oh, and for today, new to as well, I've made an outro. It's an Odie outro. Hopefully you guys like it. Have a great day, and thanks for your time. Stay out of trouble.